Ever wondered how to make any image 3D in DaVinci Resolve? Well, let's jump in and I'll show you how to do it. All right, so popping over to DaVinci, you're gonna wanna grab a Fusion comp and we're jumping straight into the Fusion page. Once you're in Fusion, we're gonna grab a background node and we're gonna connect it to the media out and make sure you bring that alpha value all the way down. It's just gonna make the background transparent. So now that we're in here, we're gonna actually need some sort of image. For this video, I'm gonna be using the Instagram logo. We're gonna go ahead and connect that to our background. But if you guys don't have any sort of image or logo and you need to grab one, a great place to get these is off Google, and you can actually make it so that way the type of image is transparent. So that way you get nothing but transparent images on there. All right, jumping back into the tutorial, I'm just gonna rename our image to Instagram, and now we're gonna actually bring in the nodes we need. We can go ahead and disconnect this guy, and we're gonna hit Shift Spacebar on our keyboard and type in image face plane 3D. And now we're gonna go ahead and we're going to bring in a renderer 3D. And I'll explain these guys to you in a second. We're just going to connect that to our merge in the foreground input, and we're just going to drag this up so there's a little bit of space, and then move our renderer down to the bottom. All right, so basically if you never worked with a image plane before, this just essentially makes any image work in the 3D space. So you can see now we're working in the 3D space, so that's cool. Then also this renderer just essentially makes it so that way you can connect any 3D object back to the 2D space. For instance, this merge. Not going to get into load specifics beyond that, but that's pretty much it. So the next thing that we're going to want to do is jump into our renderer and come over here to the renderer type and make it so that way you select hardware renderer. This is useful if you don't want your computer to explode, because the software renderer will oftentimes just leave your computer running at full capacity and DaVinci will just decide to crash. The hardware renderer makes it work off your GPU. So now that we got the basics out of the way, what you're going to do is bring in a duplicate 3D node after this 3D plane. So we got our duplicate 3D node, and pretty much most of the process is already done. So now we're just going to make however many copies we need. In this case, I'm going to do about maybe 400. And now we're also going to change the offset, because right now you don't really see anything on the screen. That's because we need to bring up our duplicate 3D node on the screen in the first place. And then we also need to make it have some sort of offset. So I'm going to do 0.00, and I'm sorry, that's supposed to be on the Z position. So we'll remove that from the Y. Now you're going to see that our object has been extruded. It's nothing too great because you don't really notice a difference when you come to the media out when that's in your viewer. And that's the whole point of this. So in order to actually display this in the media out, you're going to want to bring in a transform 3D after. Now, this is where the fun happens, and you can totally switch this up and animate this however you want in your own video for whatever specific style you're going for. I'm just going to show you how to do a simple up onto the screen and then spin around the object. So we're going to start off here and we're going to keyframe the Y translation like you would do bringing any object on the screen. We're gonna go forward 30 frames and make another keyframe, and then maybe we'll let this sit until the 50th keyframe, and now we'll make a keyframe on the y-axis, and now we'll just go another 30-ish keyframes and create another keyframe. So now go back to the first keyframe you made, and we are going to just take the logo right off the screen, bringing down the Y value till the Instagram logo or your logo is off the screen. Doesn't need to be exact. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the last frame on the Y value, and we're just going to make this do a 360. There's lots of cool stuff that you can do with this, but we're going to just keep it nice and simple. Now what we're going to do is I can just show you the animation. All right, so that's how it looks, and it's starting to look great, but we need to do one more thing. We need to actually select all our nodes and then head into the spline tab, because our animation was awfully linear and we don't want that. We want it to be kind of eased in and eased out. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to select these first couple keyframes and we're going to hit F on our keyboard, and then I'm going to do the same thing with these last couple keyframes right here. Hit F, and then I'm going to hit T on our keyboard, and we're going to take this a step further and we're going to set the ease in value on 60 and our ease out value on 80. Now for when it first comes onto the screen, we're going to just go with the Y offset, and now we're going to adjust the ease in to 100, and I'm going to set the ease out to 0. All right, so now you can see that everything looks a whole lot smoother, and that's awesome. All right, so that's how you make any image or logo 3D in DaVinci. If you guys got some value out of this video, don't forget to share your love, slap that like button, slap that subscribe button. We're on a mission to 10K subscribers, and I need your help getting there. So slap both those buttons for me, and I'll see you next time in DaVinci Resolve.